everybody. Today we are going to be making chicken 3 ways. I call this weekday chicken. This is how I make chicken that will last my family for lunches. We throw it on top of salads. I throw it in tortillas to make tacos. It's just a way to make really versatile chicken really fast. And I do this almost every week. So you're gonna need an air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer, you can totally make it in the oven. Pretty similar concept. So I just start with like a pack of chicken. This is the chicken that I'm going to use today. Usually I buy a pack of chicken like frozen, like a frozen bag of chicken. It's just a little bit cheaper for my family. This says it's 1 pound, it's 16 ounces. So I'm going to make 1 pound of chicken today. And I'm going to split it up into 3 sections to make 3 different flavors of chicken. So just open this up. What you want to do is just dice up your chicken into bite-sized pieces for yourself. So I'm going to use my handy dandy cutting board. That is my meat cutting board right here. I actually ask for these every year. I ask for a new set of cutting boards. I always think it's a good idea to start the new year with new cutting boards. It's always a Christmas present that I ask for. Just a little tip from me to you. All right, so I'm just gonna chop up this chicken, little bite-sized pieces of chicken. So you can see, like, I'm just cutting them up into sizes that would be appropriate for like a salad. I have a toddler, so I kind of try to make it the size that he wouldn't have to work too hard to eat. And I don't have to like recut it up for him. So that looks pretty good. I do this kind of like one chunk at a time. So this pack of chicken has 3 breasts in it. So I'm just gonna cut up 3 separate sets. So it's kind of sticking together here. Bum, 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 bum. All right. So what's really great about this is you can make the chicken in a couple of different flavors. It'll be really low point. In fact, each flavor, all of the chicken will only be 1 point. So today, if you were to eat this entire pound of chicken, it would be 3 points, which is pretty cool. Okay, I've got my bowl of diced up chicken, and then I'm gonna show you one of my biggest Weight Watcher hacks. This is from a company called Fresh Jacks, which is the one that I use. I love this company. They have tons and tons of different flavors. This is just like a 1-box meal. I'll put a link to this particular one in the comments, or in the description rather. So, but really any spices will do. This is a huge part of Weight Watchers. It makes it so I don't get tired of all the different chicken because I can just make it flavored in all kinds of different ways. Okay, so before we add the spices, we are going to add 1 teaspoon of oil. Here's where your 1 point comes in. This is for Weight Watchers Blue. 1 teaspoon of oil, and that's really just so it doesn't stick to my pan. All right, so I just dumped that 1 teaspoon right into my chicken. Put that off to the side so I can use it again. I'm gonna go turn on the air fryer. We're gonna turn on the air fryer to 370 degrees, and we're just gonna heat it up a little bit. So I'm gonna set it for 15 minutes to start. Oops, that was my timer. There's my 370 degrees for about 15 minutes. I'm gonna let it just heat up a little bit while we finish making our chicken. Now I'm gonna add some spice. Today I'm gonna do, the first one we're gonna do is Island Spice Chicken. So this is gonna be jerk chicken. Any jerk seasoning that you want, man. Go to your grocery store, see what they've got. I love these blended up spices. They just make it really easy. My personal rule is do not be afraid to spice your food. It's how you stay from getting bored. Again, like check out, see what kind of spices your grocery store has, or order flavors that you really like. I'm gonna do about half of a tablespoon. Don't be afraid of spices. I personally think more is better. So, and then I literally just dump this in there. Okay. There's 1 teaspoon of oil in there. You can kind of see what that looks like. And then y'all, I just mix it up. You just kind of mix it up. Get that flavor all up in there. Mix that 1 teaspoon of oil in there to coat it evenly. If you don't think that's going to be spicy enough for you, add more spices. Add more spices. All right, it does not take that long for a air fryer to get nice and toasty. It does not take very long at all. All right, so there's my chicken. You can see it's pretty well coated. You can kind of see the spices on there. It looks really good. It smells good. It smells a little bit like raw chicken, but it also smells a little bit like Jerk Island. So we take the air fryer basket. I just dump it in. That's it. Just dump it in. Stick it back on there and let it cook. It takes about 10 minutes a batch to cook. So while that one is cooking up, I'm gonna cut up my next piece of chicken. So let's go with number 2. Okay, so we're doing the exact same process, right? We're just chopping up the chicken into bite-sized pieces and adding a spice. That's it. We're gonna have 3 different kinds of chicken here in less than 30 minutes. And this is going to feed your family for a couple of days. You can throw this on salads. You can throw it with a little non-fat Greek yogurt and make yourself a little chicken salad, a little flavored chicken salad. You can throw it over rice or over like a bed of cauliflower rice. Also works really well. It really just gives you a little bit of flavor for some stuff. Okay, so we've almost got the second one chopped up. Like I said, I usually buy frozen chicken and then I just let it defrost in the fridge overnight. And then just chop it on up. That's all it takes. It keeps in the fridge once it's cooked for a week. You know, it's good. I just finished off last week's yesterday for my lunch. And you know your family. Pick what flavors kind of work for you. If your family really likes Italian food, maybe you try some like Italian seasoning. Use a group, put in some garlic salt or some garlic powder. All right, I got a new bowl. We're gonna put this chicken in there. Ooh. All right, let me go wash my hands before I touch the spices. All right, so this next flavor that we're going to use is going to be, today we're gonna let's do some toasted onion. That's gonna be the second one I use. Same deal. I am just gonna put a good old half tablespoon of spices in there. So we're just gonna mix that in. Oh, and you know what? I forgot my oil, but that's okay. We can always just add it now. So I'm gonna pour my 1 teaspoon of oil in there. And again, that makes it so this whole bowl of chicken is only 1 point on blue. All right, again, we just mix it up. And I'll tell you what, guys, I don't get really, really specific. It's okay to me if there's a little bit of cross-contamination with the flavors. So I don't like clean my air fryer between chickens that I cook. I just go ahead and cook them all, and then I clean everything up just one time. All right, so now that one's ready to go. Okay, so once you've got that one made, it's a good opportunity to go and check on your chicken that is in your air fryer. So I'm gonna go grab a spoon to stir that. All right, I have got another spoon. It's been in there for about 4 or 5 minutes, so I'm gonna go stir it. So you can see it's already cooking up really, really good. It's about halfway cooked, which is great. Smells strong and good and nice and flavorful. So I just stir it up. You can see it's still kind of raw in some spots, cooked in others, so that stir is good. And it should be done in about 5 minutes. So I've stirred it up, and I'm just gonna go stick it back on the air fryer. And I'll just keep on cooking. All right, the second one's ready to go. So I'm gonna chop up my third piece of chicken to make my final flavor. Chicken into whatever size works for you. If you are a person that then likes to measure out like your ounces of chicken, or if you're on one of the plans where you do have to count all of the protein, not as 0 points. You had 16 ounces to begin with, so you can, split it up into, I don't know, sets of 4 to get those 4 ounces, or, or use a food scale. All right, we're Just chopping up this chicken. I'm not a very good food chopper. I'm like a little bit slow at this. All right. And again, you can cut this really little. You can cut them bigger and meatier. They might just take a little bit longer to cook if you cut them up bigger. The bigger you cut them up. So what I really love about this is like that toasted onion is a really mild flavor. And so my kids will definitely eat it. You can even just do this with like salt and pepper even. And then my kids will totally eat it. My last third of chicken, we're just gonna put that in this third bowl that we've got over here. Let's go ahead and throw this in the... All right, cool. So third spice we're going to use, we're actually going to use this like chop house. It kind of makes it taste like a chop house, like a chicken that you get at a steakhouse, basically. It's also, this is actually my husband's favorite one. My husband's favorite one. He loves this on steak. You'll see me use these spices kind of a lot. And nice local small business company, localish to me anyway. But they deliver everywhere. All right, so I added my oil. I added my spices. There's what that chicken looks like. And we're just gonna stir it up with the raw one again. Oop, I dropped a piece of chicken there. I have to sanitize this up. All right, so now we just give it a really good stir, get that oil and those spices all over everything. All right, I do suggest that you only put one flavor of chicken in the air fryer at a time, just so that you make sure that all of the chicken gets cooked through all the way as quickly as possible, because you can put too much chicken in there and then it's like really hard to get cooked. Okay, so this is all ready to go. We now have all 3 sets of chicken ready to go. So, like I said, we're gonna finish this all in 30 minutes. We're almost gonna be done. So, let's look at this chicken one more time. It's been in there almost 10 minutes. You know what? It looks pretty cooked to me. Here's what that chicken looks like. It's all nice and coated. It's delicious looking. All right, so our first batch of chicken is done. So all I do, now that chicken is done, is I get out a nice clean piece of Tupperware. And now that air fryer chicken just goes right in there. Look, all ready to go, right in the fridge. And then, cool, it's already hot. Like I said, I don't mind mixing spices. So in goes that second round. Again, this was the toasted onion right here. It goes right in the air fryer. And then just remember to turn up the amount of time that's left on your air fryer because you just finished cooking one. I always just kind of reset it to 15 minutes. I know it takes about 10 minutes for each set to cook. Okay, so this is the finished, island jerk. This is actually my favorite one, but it's really good. It might take yours a little bit longer to cook. Go ahead and double check it. But like it's really nice and cooked through. It tastes stinking delicious. Oh my gosh, so good. Got a little bit of kick, that flavor does. That one's my favorite. I love it with some Greek yogurt off to the side to dip it in. It's so good. Okay, so that batch is ready to go in the fridge as soon as it cools down a little bit. This one is in the air fryer. Again, you gotta check with your tastes, like as far as spice level goes. You'll learn what works for you. Just don't be afraid of spices. Keep trying them. Find the ones that work for you. If you can find 4 or 5 flavors of like chicken that you really, really like, it's really gonna help you out a lot. All right, so while this is cooking, now you have the perfect opportunity to kind of clean up after yourself. And we're just gonna be completely done as soon as these little bits of chicken are done cooking, which is great. So I'm gonna put all my spices back, clean that up, which is really cool. So what are you guys' favorite ways to cook chicken? What are your go-tos? Put them down below. Or is there something that you'd like me to try for you to see if I can get it to work for the Weight Watchers plan? Is there a certain like flavor of chicken that you just can't quite develop? So I'm just gonna throw these in the dishwasher. don't forget to keep going back and stir your chicken as it goes. So one of the things that I really love about making chicken this way is I know that each flavor, like if I ate the entire bowl of that flavor, is 1 point. So really at the end of the week, if I've eaten all of it or if I've split it with my husband, if I can like make sure that my points added up to 1 or 2 or 3, depending on how much of it I ate, then I feel like I've accounted for it. So that's really, really good to just have a couple of those food items, even the ones that you cook, that you just know instantly how many points they are right on hand. And just that little bit of oil, that's all that was in the points, it just helps keep it from sticking in the pan and just gives it a slightly roasted flavor. All right, so this has been in the oven for a few minutes. I'm gonna go stir it. Again, you can see how quickly this cooks. It cooks really fast. The air fryer really cooks it up. It's gonna take a little bit longer if you do it in the oven. It's gonna take a little bit longer if you do it on the skillet. If you do it on the skillet, just spray your skillet a little bit. You can just spray your skillet a little bit and make sure you put the top on it to help steam it all the way through. It'll make it take less time. But on a skillet, you're also getting a little bit more of that seared look. If you need more points than 1 per serving, if you're able to handle that, then you can absolutely add a little bit more oil, and that'll work too. Waiting on the chicken to cook. Again, we're just gonna do this one more time, and we're gonna end up with this 3rd set of chicken, and then we'll be good. I just checked my 2nd batch of chicken and it is almost done. And you guys, this one only took 6 and a half, almost 7 minutes to cook. So keep an eye on it, keep stirring it as you go, because depending on the size of your chicken, it shouldn't take more than 10 minutes to cook. If it's fully thawed, it really should be done in like that 6 to 10 minute range. So, oh yeah, look, it's so nice and like crispy and roasted. Oh, it looks so good. Okay. So let's throw this in here. Again, this was the toasted onion that I did. And then our last one was the Keto Chop House brand that I did. And we're just gonna throw that in there. And kind of shake it so it's kind of in a layer and then just stick it back in here. Okay, so this was the toasted onion. One thing, I really don't want you to get like hung up on saying, well, I don't have that spice that she used, or I don't have that specific thing that she used. Like, I promise you that you probably have spices that will absolutely work to make this chicken really fast. Do you have taco seasoning? Do you have garlic salt? Do you have, a poultry seasoning? Any of that kind of stuff will work. As you build up your spices for your Weight Watchers journey, that'll definitely help you. So there is that chicken, and that's all done. Okay, so I'm gonna let this finish cooking. Again, I'm gonna stir it in just a couple of minutes, and then I'll bring it back and I'll show you guys the 3 final chicken options, and we'll put them in the fridge for the week. All right, I just checked that last batch of chicken. It's just about done. It also cooked up in about 7 minutes, so each batch took about 7 minutes. Again, this should take about 7 to 10 minutes. It smells really good. You guys, it smells delicious. Okay. Let the air fryer cool down. You can see that smoke wafting up. Okay, so we now have 3 different kinds of chicken that I made out of 1 pound of chicken. Altogether, this is 3 points. So there are our 3 different kinds of chicken. We have the jerk chicken right here. We have that toasted onion chicken here. And then we have the Keto Chop House over here. It's good. We're going to put this all in the fridge and we're going to use it all week. Thank you guys so much. I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that this gives you a couple of ideas on how to create diverse chicken breast recipes really, really fast for your family, because I know time is always of the essence. Again, we use this all week. We're going to eat this all week long, and we'll bring you something else next week. All right. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe, watch some more videos, and we'll see you next time.